Yeah. All right. We're live. Here we go. All righty, man. What's going on, Elite Brokers? Matty guys here. Got another awesome training for you guys. And actually, this is more than just a training. This is a kind of a launch as well of a partnership that I think is just going to be an absolute game changer for people. Just combining the best of both sides of the industry, marketing and actual fulfillment, getting loans accepted and approved and all that, and just making it so much easier for you guys. So this is going to be absolutely epic. Got Jantzen here. I think he's another icon in the industry that doesn't really need an introduction. Most everybody knows who you are, but really appreciate you taking the time to do this, Jantzen. A lot of people have been very, very excited about this training. So really appreciate your time and glad to have you here.
Yeah, man, it's my pleasure and my honor. Honestly, I'm super excited to present today and kind of show everybody this really great kind of technology that we're teaming up with Elite Broker to really be able to support the brokers in all areas. So I'm really excited, man.
Right.
And again, honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. The honor is mine as well. So, yeah, we had a really good conversation the other day, and you kind of took me into this software of yours called Finncy, and we're going to get into that. It just absolutely blew my mind. It was just, for me, it's just a perfect fit for our elite brokers here. But why don't really quick, this is just how I usually like to start off these trainings and interviews and things like that. I mean, most people know who you are, and everything, but can you give us just like a quick 2-3 minute background on your experience in the industry, how you got started, and kind of where you're headed from here?
Yeah, sure. No problem. So I've been in the small business financing industry for about a little over 13 years. And I'm located here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So when I first jumped into the industry, I was working for a company that later on became a well-known business loan brokerage, kind of like the household business loan brokerage known as Lendio. But before they were known as Lendio, they were called RBSL. And they kind of went through a couple different mergers and acquisitions. And so I was kind of a part of that ground level company, like a team of about five employees. And then from there, I kind of branched out, did my own thing when they decided to kind of start raising money. And I broke off, did my own thing, created my own business loan brokerage here in the state of Utah. And we quickly did very, very well. We had a really nice way of generating leads. We had a really nice technology behind us. And I'm a big believer in kind of leveraging people. So technology and people, and then a nice lead channel really allowed us to kind of grow. Had some really great successes, also had some equally great failures as well along that kind of path. Sure. And along the way, I was getting it was about 8 years into it. We were just focusing solely on ourselves, on our own lead channels. And we had kind of a lot of brokers over time that I didn't really notice, kind of a slow boil of people that were starting to refer deals over to my brokerage, Direct Business Lending. So it's kind of like at that time where I started to train people and actually kind of enhance their brokerage or them as a broker or referral partner to us. And so I started to really love training. And then I created the Business Loan Broker Academy, which essentially was like one of the first online training platforms for our community. And, it's a broker first, trainer second. So I'm still always trying to figure out the best way to train. And through that, the Business Loan Broker Academy, we trained about 3,500 plus brokers through a couple different ways. And then that company actually got acquired by Nav Technologies. So a lot of people are familiar with Nav. And that unfortunately didn't go the way that I would like it to have gone, but that's okay. That's just kind of what happens sometimes. And so we just kind of decided to part ways. And here I am now, have taken about 12 months off to really kind of decide what's the right way to enter into the industry. And sure. Through that, I've been able to identify different types of personality types, 4 different types of personality types. And about 4 or 5 different ways that the brokers need to be supported. One of which is, how Elite Broker supports the broker community, which is great.
Sure.
So long and short, that's where I'm at, and where
Long
I'm going.
journey, man.
Yeah, where I'm going is just trying to help the brokers, just like trying to create an ecosystem that really supports the business loan brokers in any which way that I can.
Sure. Yeah. Giving them everything that they need to succeed in it. So yeah, that's awesome. Definitely paid your dues. I've been in the industry a long time. I love that. And real quick, before we move on, guys, if you guys have questions too, drop them down in the comments, and I can bring them up just kind of as we go along. So any questions as we move through what we're about to go through, which is the lender portal that we're going to be adding. And I guess I should give a little bit of background to what we're doing here is taking, like, you guys are already pretty much familiar with how Elite Broker works. You know everything that's in it. It's freaking awesome. Gives you everything that you need to generate, convert leads, get people on the phone, etc. But I've had a lot of requests from brokers to add some type of lender portal, and even brokers that don't really have access to a really solid lender network. That's what we're solving today. That's what this partnership is all about. Is you are now going to have, so you already have access to Elite Broker, which if you don't, link in the description. Hello, get on Elite Broker. What are you doing? But now you're going to be able to submit all of your deals to this lender network right inside of Elite Broker. And that's what we're going to be talking about here. So any questions along the way, drop them down in the comments. With that said, Jantzen, why don't you give us a little bit, just tell us, what is Finncy? All right. So Finncy is the name of the software that you have. It's kind of like a CRM in and of itself, where but it's specifically for lenders, right? So tell us, what is Finncy and how does it work?
Yeah, so essentially, like, Finncy is it's like an overarching brand that's really meant to support the business loan brokers in a bunch of different facets. And one of which is through being able to help kind of streamline and automate their loan origination process, right? And it's really difficult for business loan brokers to try to do everything. And us as business loan brokers, we do try to kind of take on so much because it just is who we are, our chemical makeup. And we're trying to kind of, chase opportunities, right? Because we're all commission driven, and that's how we make our money. And so the Finncy is really just a brand to be able to support the business loan brokers. The technology, again, is a loan origination software, also to be able to support the business loan brokers, to support their brand, to support their borrowers, to support their also affiliates, referral partners, and other brokers. There's kind of like, for a lack of a better word, there's kind of like a daisy chain of brokers that are out there and that kind of work together, and other brokers are trying to bring other brokers into the community. And so we wanted to create a software and a technology that was able to kind of support that. So Finncy's technology is able to be completely white labelable, put your contact information, put your logo on there. We can even take it so far as to actually sit it on your own domain. So you'll see here in a moment, I'm going to log on to crm.finncy.com, and we can take it so much as far as a white label product is concerned, and be able to sit it on something like crm.mybusiness.com. What we're also, the beautiful thing is, we're also able and are integrating it with Elite Broker. So it's actually all in one. Your brokers essentially won't have to leave the Elite Broker, which is really powerful. And one of the things I'm excited about is that they don't have to really go anywhere. But the technology allows it to be fully white labelable. It allows you to create branches or brokers underneath you, and most of those brokers have their own brands, and you can put their brand and attach it into the CRM, and it just goes so many different levels deep. Also gives you a borrower portal. It gives your borrowers a document portal for them to be able to upload their documents. And then the cool thing that we've been able to do is we've been able to offer in this service what we call processing as a service. So one of the things that I'm helping with the brokers is really being able to kind of focus on 4 T's, right? And again, and you're really helping with kind of like an additional T, which is the training, right? And then we have the technology. And then we have the ability to support team building as well. And then we've got full transparency in this system. And then one of the things that I think is the biggest feature and the biggest way that we're able to really support the business loan brokers outside of like just streamlining their technology and their loan origination software is giving them the ability to essentially pass off a file to an assigned processor, right? So there's all these cogs in the wheel with being able to grow your business. Training, lack of technology, lack of leveraging teams, right? Or people. And so that's some of the holes that I wanted to kind of fulfill in the in the industry. So long and short, that's essentially what Finncy is.
Gotcha. There was when you and I spoke the other day, there was really 3 things that that stuck out to me that I think is just going to be massive for brokers. Is one, you said loan origination. So having basically access to an entire lender network where you can take so the idea is you're generating leads with EliteBroker. You get on the phone, you build a relationship with these business owners. You find out where they're at with their business, where they potentially qualified for, what direction you want to take them. Then you take that, you submit the application inside of Finncy. And the second part that I thought was really big on this was you guys take the handle the fulfillment. You take that application and match it with one of the 100 plus lenders that you have in the network. That is where the application is most likely to get approved. And for me, that just saves an unbelievable amount of time. Because like you were saying earlier, brokers and, it's really a lot of business owners, we try to do everything ourselves. That right there saves so much time because now you don't have to stop prospecting to do this deal. You don't have to stop getting on the phone with business owners, building those relationships. You submit the deals to the lender network and you guys handle the fulfillment from there. And then the third part, like you said, was team building as well. Because I've had requests for that too. Is do we have something where if we want to build our own team where we can recruit more brokers into the program? So for me, those are like the 3 big things that I thought were just the most powerful. Is being able to submit your deals to one lender network, having a team fulfill it for you, find the best lender for that particular application, and then being able to build and manage a team all inside of one platform. That's kind of those are my biggest takeaways. I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
No, I mean, that's exactly right. I mean, and that's like with Finncy, we're trying to give the brokers the ability to scale. And so, they're buying specific training to be able to get access to lenders. And then there's this, a hard ability to get actually in touch with the lenders, to go through their onboarding process. And sometimes there's thresholds where you need to be in business for 1 year or 2 years. And you need to have a track record or some sort of history. So that's a barrier to entry for brokers that we're trying to solve. And then, as far as like being able to handle your processing, when you think about the most successful real estate agents, the most successful insurance agents, and the most successful mortgage brokers, and real estate agents is really the best way to bring it home. And they all leverage transaction assistants, or they all leverage assistants or transaction coordinators. And, our industry is just like the real estate industry. It's just like the mortgage industry. We're all kind of cut of the same cloth. We're all on the same totem pole.
Right.
Our industry just isn't as developed as those industries, right? So really, like, we're in the mortgage and the real estate industry in the 90s and in the early 20s when it wasn't regulated. And so our industry's catching on, right? With individuals like you putting a ton of time, money, energy, and resources to building EliteBroker, and other people that are putting a bunch of all that time, money, energy, and resources just to be able to support the broker. And the industry's just kind of not even really catching, just trying to catch up to speed. And so this is my way of saying, hey, I know this pain point from being my own broker, from building my own brokerage, and from teaching and training so many other business loan brokers, that you can be great at prospecting, but if your processing isn't in place, then everything else really is a mess from the get-go. And the lenders don't appreciate it. The lenders kind of score you, if they will, and it's in a negative way when they're scoring you because your packages aren't proper or you don't understand the underwriting guidelines. And it's an ever-going thing. I'm learning every day, just as these lenders change, and so is our processing team. But what it allows a broker to be able to do is to do the most important and what really they're probably the best at, which is just out there prospecting, right? Out there meeting people, promoting
getting on the phone
products. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
And this allows them to keep that pipeline full.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that's that was kind of my vision for EliteBroker, something that you said, just giving making everything as simple as possible so that they can focus. Because like when I do onboarding, or even like if I do a call before somebody joins EliteBroker, I basically say, we've given you everything that you need to generate and convert leads, get more people on the phone, because I know at the end of the day, if you guys can just get more people on the phone, you're going to close more deals. A lot of people that come into this business, they've got experience with sales, they're good with people, good at building relationships. And that's a big, if not maybe the biggest part of success in this type of industry. But like you said, that fulfillment, and this is where I think Finncy was just such a perfect match for EliteBroker, is that one of the biggest issues we have now are declines, deals falling through the cracks and whatnot. And I think a big issue with that is the fulfillment side of it. So this right here, bringing these two things together allows people to just continue prospecting, building those relationships, letting a team like Finncy handle the fulfillment for you guys, and that's really the key here. So why don't we do this, Jantzen? You think it'd be okay? Maybe share your screen, just kind of walk us through the platform, what it looks like, how it works. Maybe submit an example deal or something like that. Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's definitely do that. So let me share let me go over here and share my screen.
All right, I'll bring it up when it pops up here. And then while you're doing that, also guys, just so you know, maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, but whatever. You can sign up for Finncy actually inside of EliteBroker right now, and you can log in. So if you go on the left-hand sidebar at the very bottom, you're now going to see a Finncy sign up tab, as well as a lender portal tab. So the Finncy sign up, obviously that's where you sign up for the software, and then you can log into the software again right inside of EliteBroker. And Jantzen was really cool enough to put together a special offer just for EliteBrokers. Of course, you can go, if you're not a member of EliteBroker, you can sign up for this. I'll have a link down below, but you get an exclusive offer as an EliteBroker member where Jantzen, correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're waiving the sign-up fee. Is that what we're doing? It's $149 that we're waiving?
That's right. There's a $149 sign-up fee, and it's $85 a month. And so we just waived that setup fee. And so it's just $85 a month for everybody to get in the door today. And
gotcha. Awesome.
Let me know if you can see can you see my screen now?
No, it should pop up here for me to add it. So if you click on, do you see you should have a share option at the bottom, and then if you click share screen, that should bring up the option for me to add it to the stream.
I'm just getting this little pop up here. It says Chrome has lost your permissions to capture.
Okay.
Screen. Let's see. Maybe I need to do something here. Oh.
Yeah, that's usually like a system preferences or like privacy settings. Let me see if I can pull something up on that. Let's see. I haven't had to do that in a while. Bear with us, guys. We're going to Let's see, I'm on Microsoft Edge here. Wow. You said so you're on Chrome?
I am. 1 second here. Come through the steps. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Yeah, we have while you're doing that, I'm just going to go through the comments here. We did have a question about commissions. We're going to get into that. I'm just going to dive into the software first really quick, and then we'll definitely talk about the commission structure because the commission structure is really good on that.
Okay, let me try again here.
Yummy.
It's going to ask me to restart. I think that's going to be the issue here. It's keep asking me to restart Chrome.
Okay.
Here's what I'll do. Shoot, Matthew, I'm so sorry about this.
It's all good, man. So did you change the settings to actually allow for the share? It just wants you to reset?
That's right. It's asking me to reset here.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and do what you got to do. And, I'll walk through like the sign up process and what we have inside of EliteBroker for this. And we can wait for you to come back on.
Okay. And I'll jump back in. That sounds great. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Cool. You got it.
Okay.
All right, guys. While Jantzen is getting that figured out, let's go through a couple things here. Will this be recording? Yes, this is being recorded and will be in the EliteBroker training replays area. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick, guys. And just want to make sure that you guys see everything that we have here. All right, so can you guys see my screen okay? Just drop a yes really quick. Just want to make sure we're not having issues with StreamYard. I think we're good on our end. All right, let's see. All right, so yeah, so down here at the bottom left now, you'll see an option to sign up here. Like I said, there's an exclusive offer just for EliteBrokers right here to waive the sign up fee. And then it's just the $85 a month. And then you'll be able to log in right here in this lender portal. And once we get Jantzen back on and we do a walkthrough of this, man, like I said, we had a call the other day and he walked me through the entire software. For me, this was the final piece, the missing piece of the puzzle for EliteBroker. Like I said, I heard your request, guys. I've had a lot of requests to do something with adding some type of lender portal, being able to submit applications. The other thing you're going to be able to do, which is really cool, which we'll go through in the walkthrough here. Let me go and stop. There we go. Is that you'll be able to. So you'll have access to this lender portal where you're going to be able to submit all of your deals right inside of EliteBroker. They're going to handle the fulfillment for you, match it with the best lender so that you can continue focusing on your prospecting. Obviously, there's going to be certain situations where, they need additional information. They need you to reach back out to the business owner or whatever. But it takes such a huge piece of the business out of the equation for you and handles it for you, not to mention getting access to over 100 different lenders. Which is going to hopefully the idea is to significantly improve the amount of approvals that you're getting. And we're going to talk about that as well. But the other thing, though, is in addition to being able to submit your applications right inside of EliteBroker, you're going to get your own link to a standard application specifically for Finncy that you can put in your EliteBroker follow-up automations. So I'm going to create a separate training video on how to do that. It's really, really easy. All we do is update your custom values. And, you know, those follow-up sequences, you'll be able to automatically send your application link out. It's just going to be absolutely epic. So, all right, I think we got Jantzen back on here. All right, Jantzen, are you there? Can you hear me okay?
I can. Still, let's see if it's going to work here.
Cool. I guess not. Jantzen's having some technical difficulties. It's all good. We've been there. Is what it is. So let's see. What else do we got here? Curious to learn more about the origination part of the process and how that will work. Yep. That's what we're hopefully going to be able to dive into once we can get to a screen share going. I may end up, see, the downside is I can share my screen, but I don't think I can give him access to it. Let's try that again. There we go.
So sorry. My goodness.
It's all good, man. That's technology for you. I deal with that stuff all the time, believe me. So it's all good.
Yeah, that's Jantzen for you.
Yeah, okay, I'm excited about this too, Taylor. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Good deal. Can you guys see my screen okay?
We can. Can you just blow that up for us? Full screen it? It's just kind of small. There we go. Awesome.
Cool. Very cool. Okay, guys, so this is the Finncy dashboard, and this is what it's going to look like when you guys log in to your guys' account, or what it's going to look like from within Elite Broker. One of the cool things is when you sign up for this Finncy technology, is again, it's fully white labelable, so it's going to allow you to put your logo in there. It's going to allow you to put your contact information in there. So just like you're seeing my logo right now in the upper left-hand corner, just envision your logo in there. In fact, every time and anywhere that you see Finncy or that you see Finncy's logo, just imagine it's your company's name, or imagine that it's your company's logo in there. So this is kind of a typical dashboard view that you would expect to see kind of in any typical type of like CRM, if you will. And from here, you're going to be able to actually see where your leads are at as they're moving, and your prospects. And as you turn your prospects into clients, you're going to be able to see where they're at in each one of the individual kind of silos that have been created. Okay. So this is, again, what your typical dashboard is going to look like. As you start to fill this out, and as you start to put in more and more prospects and move them through the system, then you're going to be able to actually see more and more of this start to, again, like fill out and start to get complete, like your loan programs, lead sources, your pipeline status and whatnot. But what I like about this view right here is it allows you to see things from kind of a bird's eye view from your entire brokerage. It also allows you to take a look at what's coming up as far as your closings if you're utilizing that feature within Finncy. Also allows you to see which of your most recent files you've been into, so you can click on that and just quickly be able to access the files that you're probably going in and out of every single day or multiple times in the day as they're kind of, you know, moving through the progression of funding a deal. If you actually have brokers or affiliates or referral partners, you're able to track them and they're here in your top producers view. And then you're also able to view your individual tasks and reminders. And I'll show you those features here on the accordion style slides when we get to that.
That is so cool. Real quick, this is almost like Elite Broker, except for the fulfillment process. So where this is like everything after the lead has been generated, the deal has been submitted. Now you can see, so just like inside of Elite Broker, you can see where everybody's at in the sales process. If they got an appointment booked, or they requested a call, not contacted, whatever. As far as the prospecting and marketing goes, with Finncy, you have the same exact type of process, except it's specifically for the fulfillment side after you've submitted the application. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Yeah, I would say that's perfect. Perfectly explained. Yep.
Love it. I love it.
From here, what you want to do is you're going to want to probably create an actual application. So maybe a prospect calls you, they hit your landing page, maybe, and they see your phone number. Maybe they are through your EliteBroker automation, seeing one of your emails and reaching out to you through phone. So what you'll do is you'll come in here and you're going to go through the quick app or the full app. I like the quick app first because it just allows you to gather some just kind of basic information. The full application is exactly that, it just allows you to gather more information. And I'll jump into that full application in just a minute. But there's a couple different ways that an actual application or a borrower is created. One of which is through this quick or full application feature. And another way is just by a borrower filling out kind of like a simple form or a link that can be sent. And when that's sent, it actually gives your borrower the ability to digitally sign it. So it's kind of like a nice way to get them to be committed. Now, one thing that's important to remember is that like each loan program is different. So from merchant cash advances to equipment leasing to SBA and all the other types of loan programs that we offer, they all have their own individual applications. But we have this quick app and this full app for you to be able to essentially get a really fast application kind of commitment, if you will, into their hands where they can digitally sign that. And I'm going to show you that feature here. And I'm going to jump into an actual file. So let's just assume right now from here, I put in all of this information in the quick app, and then I actually saved it. Now, when I saved it, I'm now in my file that I just barely created. So this file right now is called Mr. Funding Assessment. And this is what a full application feature looks like. So this just gives you more functionality within the actual profile. One of the things that I love most about the full application feature is the fact that we already have credit in our system. So that in the past has been kind of a mild resistance point. In fact, like I've built my entire business loan brokerage in the past, and all of my training students I've taught how to go out and actually utilize a third-party platform to be able to do a soft credit pull. Now,
right.
That's a good service, great service. I love those companies that are out there. Again, I built my entire business model on that. However, it is a little bit of a not true to the lending environment. Like when we get a mortgage or when we go and get an auto loan or a credit card, at no time are we prompted to go and pay $1 and sign up for this service. And if we want to cancel with 7 days, we need to call this number. And if we don't, we're going to get charged that. So while that's a good model and actually creates some really good income down the line for business loan brokers, it also does kind of impede our ability to just move and process a file forward. So
Absolutely.
so you get that. So this gives them the ability, if they want to be able to have a soft credit pull feature. It's a single bureau, and in full disclosure, the information in the credit report right now appears as a pop-up. We're working on getting it as a PDF so that you can actually have it in the file. Right now, you have to view it from here. And then we're also working on getting the data from the actual credit report into the actual customer's file. So those are a couple of the things that are coming. But right now, you have the ability for you to do a soft credit pull. And you can even do a soft credit pull without their social security number as well, assuming you have a couple of the other data features in place as well. Yeah, so that's just nice.
Awesome. Yeah, that's huge. Because like we were saying, that can be the extra income stream. Sign up for $1, cancel later. For me, that's just kind of an extra resistance point that if you can eliminate that, it's not really worth the passive income to potentially lose the deal. That's just my opinion, but it seems like it streamlines the process a lot better because you're not relying on the prospect to go sign up and then cancel it, whatever. You're just you pull the credit right here inside of Finncy. That to me, that just makes so much more sense.
Absolutely. It gives you that power and also allows you to become a more authoritative, figure when you're talking to these business owners, which is really important for you to kind of remove any sort of like eyebrow raise. That's kind of weird, or like little,
Right.
head scratch. Oh, that's an odd process, or I've never been asked to do that before. The less we can remove that barrier, like to your point, the easier we are going to have with the customer, the better experience the customer is going to have, the better experience. Yeah. Then the higher probability they're going to accept the loans. And then, even if they don't accept the loans or they don't even get approved, just the fact that they appreciate a streamlined process makes them more inclined to maybe want to refer somebody else. It also empowers you as a business loan broker. So because I totally get the power behind utilizing a free trial offer to be able to make money. But this also gives you the ability to say something like this. Like, hey, we've got the ability to do a soft credit pull. It's a single bureau. I'm going to do that now. Oh, great. I just pulled your credit. It looks like your credit score right now is at a 620. Would you say that's consistent or congruent across all three credit scores? And then then at that point, you can kind of move in and insert your way into being able to kind of like upsell or cross sell or promote those other services.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did have a question really quick regarding this application. So they have, you can do a short application, do a full application, but it's just one application for every lender in the network, right? Like there's not a separate application they need to fill out if they want to use a certain lender or whatnot. It's just one application.
We have essentially one application. There are lending institutions that have requirements that need not to say their own application, but they're going to need a specific application. So processing will actually handle that for you. So if a lender is requiring, like, let's say a 7A application, and we haven't collected near enough information for that app to be looked at as complete, processing will step in and actually get that additional information and get that application signed for you. And that would be the same for pretty much every loan program that has a requirement where maybe the lender's requiring a specific application to be signed. So, but we have one uniformed application. The data passes through all of that. So it's not, I understand the borrower, they don't want to say their social security number 4 or 5 times, right? So this is nice because it puts all that information. If we do have to request separate applications, it puts all of that information on the app. So all they have to do is scroll down to the bottom, digitally sign it, and we're good to go. And again, processing will take care of that. As long as the business loan brokers have done kind of their part, which is getting the full application digitally signed, pulling credit, and then getting us just a couple of the supporting documents that are needed, then at that point, processing will take over and they'll do anything and everything that needs to essentially be done from there.
Nice. So what you're saying, though, is with processing, they'll actually reach out to the business owner if they need more information or they need to do a separate app?
Yep. If processing will take care of that and also collect all of the additional documents and all the additional things that are needed. If it's we need to get title, if it's a fix and flip, or if we have to get maybe an updated invoice for equipment, or maybe we need to get an updated bank statement because we're coming up on the end of the month and we only provided them last month. So we need to get a month to date. Whatever documents really are needed, then the processing team is going to take it from there. The broker's job is just to collect the basics of documents and to get the digital app signed. And then we'll take it from there, process it, move it, identify the lending opportunities that they have the best chance of being able to get funding from our 100 lenders, and then being able to then package it up, submit it to the lenders, get the offers back, pass the offers back and the decisions back to the broker. So then the broker can then step back in and essentially sell, educate, and close the deal.
That's That's a beast. That's awesome.
Let's walk through that. Let's walk through that process right now.
Awesome. Who did you just bring onto the stream there? Is that future business loan broker superstar of the century right there?
Yes, this is Araya. Yep, this is Araya, and she always likes to step in
mascot
when I'm doing
Love
this
it.
calls.
Very cute, very cute. Yeah, awesome. All right, yeah, take us through the next part. And you were saying that you need some supporting documents. Can they submit documents right on this application?
They absolutely can. Yeah, let me show you exactly how this works. So the first thing you're gonna do again is you're gonna take. Let me put you down, sweetie, if you're gonna watch that. So the first thing that you're gonna want to do is again take either a quick app or a full app. The quick app is just an intake. The full app allows you to send it out and get an actual digital signature. Okay. And then as soon as they digitally sign it, they're actually routed or redirected to that borrower or their specific document room. And that's their document room that they can log into through a username and a password if they need to go back into it and upload those documents. But from there, they're able to essentially upload their docs. And that looks like this. Let me actually, let's see what I got here at the bottom. Let me actually walk you through. If you wanted to send out this application to your borrower, you're going to click on this compose email. And when you click on compose email, it's going to allow you to choose from some templates that we have here in the system. And then we've got some, the ability for you to create your own templates and your own customized templates as well. So I'm going to just choose one of ours that we've already got set up here. Actually, I like my customized one a little bit better. So I'm going to choose my customized one. Send full app.
So they can actually email out their application link using one of these templates right inside of Finncy.
That's correct. Yes, they can.
That's awesome.
Exactly.
So yeah. That's just awesome, guys. You can do it. You can send an individual email right inside of Finncy, or you're going to be able to send. You can grab your application link and put that into the your EliteBroker software as well. And any automations that we have with the application link, it's going to automatically send this.
Yes, and I'll show you how to access your broker link so that you can do that and put that into that EliteBroker automation. So here's kind of the email we would send out. Your borrower would receive it. They would click on this link right here. And when they click on that, they're directed to, I'll show you what it looks like here. This is what it looks like when your borrower clicks on the link. And here's kind of that full application. And then down here at the bottom, let's see. I gotta move my computer.
Yeah, it's just lagging a little bit. So this is the full application. Can they send the quick application as well the same way?
Yeah, they can send the quick app. Yeah, my fan on my computer's not too happy right now. So they will come in here. This one's already digitally signed, so I'm going to re-sign it. So I'm going to come in here. Now I'm re-signing this application just so you guys can see it.
That's awesome.
And then I can come in here and I'm going to click on submit. So again, I'm acting as if I'm the borrower. When I click submit, then it's going to route me to my document room, and my document room looks like this. Oh boy, where'd it go? Here, I'm sorry. So once I sign the application as a borrower, then I'm redirected to this. This can be kind of customized too. Like it's pretty much kind of set in stone, but if there's other documents that we need to add in here to make this a generic flow, I'm really open to any sort of feedback. and would appreciate any sort of feedback just to make this, again, as broker friendly as possible. But we've got kind of like the basics, if you will, of what's needed. And then your borrower has the ability just to upload the docs from here. You guys also have the ability to do that same thing. I'm gonna close a couple of these tabs so I don't keep getting confused. Let's say you want to send an email out to the borrower from the doc room. You come in here into the borrower's file. You go into the document tab, which is a similar view to what the broker is able to see as well. And this allows you to also upload those documents. So maybe the borrower sent them to you in an email, or maybe you already have them on file. This just allows you to come in and upload the documents.
Nice. So they can. This is something that I've discussed with a couple of people regarding like filling out applications for clients and prospects versus just sending the link. Like with the Elite Broker process, we'll send out an application link if we haven't been able to get in touch with the prospect for whatever reason, because maybe they'll fill it out in their own time. They just don't want to get on the phone. But would you say it is a little bit more ideal, if possible, to get the application over the phone and just fill this out for them?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, the easier you can make it for the business owner, the better. They're busy. They're getting contacted by a lot of people, a lot of other brokers as well sometimes. And so the farther down the path of commitment you can get them on the very first phone call with you, the better, because that's just the more indebted they are to you, and the more they're showing that they trust you, and that again, that they're indebted. There's a poker term that I like to use when I explain this scenario, which is a poker term called kind of pot committed. And so I like to extract a small amount of information as I'm kind of taking them through this like discovery process. And then I've gathered like essentially enough information to then be like, okay, great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an application that pretty much has all the information. I just need you to give it a quick once over. If there's anything that maybe I left blank or anything that I maybe fat fingered, just go ahead and correct it, and then scroll down to the bottom and digitally sign it. So I went ahead and I sent that to you. So go ahead and check your email, and you're just kind of, tugging them along and telling them what to do. And they really appreciate that, because they're used to telling other people what to do. So when they're like when you're kind of leading someone that's dominant, they really appreciate that,
Sure.
even though they may not come out and actually say that.
Yeah,
and so then this allows you to just move them through a commitment path. They can digitally sign it. And again, now when they digitally sign something, there's again like a psychological commitment there. So now they're pretty committed to you. And then it automatically routes them to the document room. And so it's like, wow, if we can really get them to upload the documents, then at that point, we've got a borrower that's pretty well committed to us and very serious about getting funding in a quick time frame. Sure. So that's how I like to put brokers like you or business owners like you're teaching as well through that type of commitment process. Because otherwise, what I see from most brokers and what I'm out here kind of correcting with seasoned brokers is them just sending out a blank application on a hope, a wish, and a prayer. Right. And, they end up chasing the broker or chasing the borrower. And I'm not a big fan of chasing. And the borrower's just not committed. Right. And so.
100%.
Also, I'll tell you this too, brokers have a tendency to, because we're salespeople, we have a tendency to sell ourselves the most. And so when we're talking to a business owner, we'll talk to them for 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then we'll say something like, okay, great. This has been an amazing phone call. So they think, go ahead and check your email. I just sent you a blank application, fill it out, get me some supporting documents, and I'll get back to you with some results. And then they let them go, right? And the broker gets off the phone kind of patting themselves on the back a little bit, thinking that they did kind of a good job. Like, wow, my pitch is really silky smooth. That borrower just went right through. They really talked pretty much the entire time. And then, only to find out that the borrower wasn't really committed to you. You didn't really get them through any sort of commitment process. And so another reason why, not to go off on this kind of teaching tangent, but why I like this is because it allows you, this meaning that a process of taking and extracting their information on the first call, is because it allows you to determine whether or not you're actually doing a good job, right? When you get someone off the phone in 3 to 5 minutes and you send them a blank application, right after the call, you're on a pretty big high because you think you did a good job, only to be let down and deflated because they weren't committed to you. They avoid your text messages, your emails, and your phone calls, and you're now chasing. And then you start questioning yourself. Was it the lead? Is it the industry? Is it the timing? Is it the training? And
Right.
it's really like, no, the process is broken.
Right.
Your process is broken. So if a borrower's not willing to give you some certain information, or they're not willing to sign a basic application, or again, give you the information that's needed to send out a basic application over the phone, that's a pretty good, sign that you yourself are not doing a good enough job communicating to that borrower, making that person feel like they're comfortable and confident, and making that person feel comfortable and confident in giving you that information. So I like it because it's a teaching tool to be able to, because borrowers will be like, I don't want to give you that information, click, or why should I give you that information, or why do you need that now? And you're met with a little bit of resistance, which I think is a good teaching experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've done some training on that. You guys can check that out in the training replays. Like we did one on handling business loan sales objections, business loan sales training, and all that stuff. And it comes down to like a big part of it is frame. And when you get that kind of resistance, kind of throwing it back at them a little bit. I was actually talking to a broker yesterday. He's got a pretty decent sized deal that's pretty much ready to go. And now the guy, he's not being very receptive. He's getting an attitude and everything. And sometimes you got to push back a little bit and stand up for yourself. But at the end of the day, it comes down to having that process. And I think this really gives you the tools you need to do that. So, and obviously there's a pretty decent amount of stuff you can do with Finncy. So I imagine like when people get signed up, is there like like any type of step-by-step training videos that show them how to do everything inside of the software?
We've got quite an extensive library of videos, and we're coming out with even more. But the library on YouTube is pretty extensive, and the feedback that I've been getting from the brokers that have been going through the library has been great. And then starting July 5th, our Facebook group is actually going live, which is where we're going to be doing pretty much a tremendous amount of like real-time trainings in regards to the system, to the technology, to the different types of loan programs, introducing our processors, so everybody can kind of get to know each other and put faces to the names and things like that.
I love it. That's awesome, man. Very cool.
Let me wrap this up real quick, because I know we're coming up on kind of that hour time frame that you wanted. So I want to just kind of quickly go through just a few other little features in here. So we've got like our application feature. It can be digitally signed. We have our dynamic applications as well, specific to the loan programs if they need to be signed. We've got our document room, which is, I think, pretty powerful. We have the ability for you to build out a team. So I wanted to show like the different types of teams that and users that you can create here in the system. So you can create different branches, East Coast, West Coast. You can create different brokers, ABC broker, XYZ broker. This can also support like your vendor relationships as well. So if you have a vendor maybe that is selling new and used equipment, and maybe you want to create them a specific or a custom application, and you want to put their logo on there just to really be able to support your vendor or your referral partner, we can do that. You can do that right here in the system. So I find that to be really powerful. Yeah. We even
that's freaking awesome.
Even with that, Matt, we can give the each one of these individual users, we can give them an iframe code. And so like, let's say you're working with John Doe, the new and used truck and trailer company, and he has a website. Maybe you're building a relationship and it comes to a point to where he's willing to put a branded embedded application on his website. So now he can just simply say to his borrowers, if you're interested in this piece of equipment, go to abc.com/application application, fill that out, and my financing guy or gal will reach out to you, with the decision. And that's just a nice branded experience. And that can be done from any brand or co-branded experience, not just a broker but any type of referral partner.
Right. So yeah, this is phenomenal if you're building a referral network as well, where instead of it just being like a verbal agreement, you can actually give them an application, their own account here, whatever, however you want to arrange that. And like you said, he can put it right on their own website if they want to.
Yeah,
that's pretty powerful, guys. So
yeah, absolutely. So let me show you how actually we assign a file to a processor, and then let's get into kind of the processing really quickly. And then I think there's probably some questions and probably more so around like, how are they making money and what's the commission structure and so on. So if you do have a team, you have the ability to look at your team's files right here from the main pipeline. Then you can also drill down and you can look at your own individual. So maybe you're a producing manager. You've got your own deal flow, but then you're also running a team. So it allows you to see where all of your deals are at. All of your credit reports are also stored right here as well. So if you want to run a promotion to a credit score segment, you can do that. You can pull that data here. A bunch of different types of reports. We've got some really cool calculators that are in here. And then we've got our equipment financing and leasing one that's going to be added in here. And then we have a merchant cash advance calculator that'll probably be in here either later on today or I don't want to say first thing tomorrow, but by July 5th, which is when everything officially is launching, then that's going to be in here as well. So we'll have those helpful calculators so they can just come in here and crank it out. One of the things I wanted to highlight as well is not only can we support business funding, which includes like merchant cash advances, business lines of credit, term loans, SBA loans, equipment financing, asset-based lending, purchase order factoring, those kind of main types of financing products that business loan brokers are offering. But we also have a separate module. It's completely separate because the workflow, the logic, everything is completely different. But we have a whole entire module built out specifically for what we call commercial real estate, specifically fix and flip, buy and hold, bridge loan, and kind of that non-QM, non-qualified hard money vertical as well. So a lot of the individuals that I work with, and based off our conversations that we had, those are a lot of the customers that you work with and attract as well. So if you are one in that vertical, we can support you. And two, if you're looking to get into that vertical and add that vertical into your tool belt, Finncy's CRM and technology has the ability to support you with both the business funding and kind of like that hard money, fix and flip, non-QM, bridge loan products as well.
That's awesome. So specifically to the real estate industry, which if you guys don't know, there's an entire marketing system inside of EliteBroker that specifically allows you to go after real estate investors for those fix and flip, for those larger real estate deals. So you already have the entire marketing system, and now you can have access to an entire lender network specifically for real estate as well. I'm not really sure how you can get much better than that.
Yeah, I love it, man. Let me show you guys how to assign a file. Again, I don't have to give you guys the full presentation, but I just want to show you the features of what you guys have. You're going to want to obviously assign a file over to a processor. Here's all of the different workflows that you guys are going to be able to see. You can check things off. The processor's checking things off. You're getting emailed when things are getting checked off. The processor's, again, seeing as you're checking things off as well. So you have a nice view right out of the gates to be and at a glance to be able to see exactly where your customer is at in the actual process of processing. So that way you don't lose any control over your borrower and you have full visibility as to where they're at in the entire process. Now, if you want to assign a file, you come in here to your lead and you click on this envelope, which gives you that kind of quick view. And let me move here. And then there's the ability for you to, let's see, assign the file. And you can assign it right here to processing. And this is going to show you our head of processing, Cassandra.
So real quick, Jantzen, when they submit it, get an application submitted, it doesn't automatically go to processing. They have to assign it to the processing manager.
Yes, because we can't process anything with just an application unless it's a credit card stacking program, which we'll be able to identify and should only be assigned to a processor if there's a 680 credit score or higher and the borrower is looking for less than 150,000. But outside of that, we are asking that the broker supply some sort of supporting documents. So
Okay.
So that way we can make so that way our processing team is actually processing borrower files and not
they can actually do their job.
Right? Yeah, not chasing your prospects.
Exactly. Right, I got you. So the broker's job is to get all the documents, all the information. Once you have that, that's when you submit it to a processing manager.
Yeah, and I want to, just for clarity, it's not all of the documents, it's the basics documents. It's so the basic documents are these right now. The application, if there's any other supporting documents that you may have, great, add them to the miscellaneous. The entity doc is supposed to be removed. The driver's license is not a required condition. And then the 6 to 12 months bank statements is. So this is also based off of the type of loan program that's selected. So like if we selected, I need financing, or your borrower selected, I need financing for equipment, it would give a couple of additional generic things. Like it would show an invoice. It would show a borrower story. And we would want you to upload those because those are kind of like borrower facing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to review them for accuracy, right? So I'll give you a couple examples of files that we just have recently processed. Brokers are moving through things fast, right? And so there's a lot of kind of like errors that sometimes happen with things that move fast. And so, sometimes there's 2 borrowers on the application and both borrowers add up to 75% ownership. And the broker misses the fact that we're missing another owner, right? Because we need every owner who has 20% ownership or more to be able to be on the application. So they're gonna check for things like that. They're gonna make sure the Social Security is correct. We're gonna make sure the credit is able to be ran. We're gonna make sure that the package is exactly like we're making sure that we have the let's say equipment leasing. We're gonna make sure we have the invoice. We're going to make sure that we have the spec sheet. I'm going through this stuff right now. We're going to make sure that we have a copy of the title. If it's a title piece of equipment, we need to get the VIN. We need to get the serial number if it's not titled. Those aren't things that you need to do, but those are things our processing team is going to do. And so those are things that will show up on here. The more you can provide us, the better. We just are asking for the basics of the information. So that way we can at least have a borrower who's willing to play ball. If they're giving you the basics of documents, then they're willing to play ball. And then by you saying, hey, my assistant is going to take it from here, follow up with you, send some emails, request some additional documents, package up your file, then they're going to be receptive to that and excited about it. And it's going to
as long as you guys got to set that up. Like if you just submit the application to processing and then the processing team starts reaching out and they don't know who the heck this person is, well, that's going to create a lot of resistance. You got to be able to you set that up at the end. Like, okay, from here on out, my processing team, if they need new documents or whatever, they're going to reach out to you. Setting that expectation up front so that they know they're going to be contacted is really, really important.
Yep, absolutely. Some other examples of some real life, some examples that we're going through right now. We received January, February, April, and May, and an updated June bank statement. Really great, right? But we're missing 1 month. Easy oversight. Probably just wasn't attached by the borrower. Broker didn't pick up on it. No big deal. We've got a borrower that's willing to play ball And so the processing team at that point will reach out, hey, we've got this document, but we're missing this this month of the bank statement.
That's awesome, man. And that doesn't interrupt the broker's day. Like, you guys don't have to worry about that at that point. You know, I assume that if the processing team is having trouble getting in touch with them, that's when they're going to step in and say like, hey, can you help us out with this? But you guys, like, if that stuff happens, you know, using something like this, it's not going to interrupt your day anymore. You can continue your prospecting, following up with leads, closing more deals, et cetera, right? It takes so much of that part of the business out of the equation for you. I love that.
Exactly. The reality is that, like, when you really take a step back and you look at it, a broker can really only manage about 8 to 12 active files if they're doing the processing themselves.
Right.
And what happens is like, you do the prospecting, then you get the opportunities. Now you're working the opportunities. Now you convert those opportunities into actual deals. Now you're processing real deals. We're working towards chasing, towards closing and kind of chasing commissions. And then, there's bottom falls out, deals go sideways. We fund a deal, great. But now where's our pipeline, right? We have to start back. And again, that's where, going back to that real estate agent methodology, the most successful ones are the ones that are out there constantly just preaching, I can help you get into a house. I can help you with your mortgage. I can help you refi. And then they just send it back to their transaction coordinators. And they're just, it's just a contact sport at that point.
Yeah, that's awesome. So very cool. Is there anything else on the application side that you want to cover before? Because I did have some questions, like people are asking about the commission structure and how they get paid and everything like that too.
Yeah, sure. No problem. So I don't have anything else. So let's just let's jump right into this. So I'll probably stop sharing my screen then. Let me come back in here.
Yeah, I could take that out there. There we go.
All right, switch. Okay, cool. Yeah. So, so as far as commission structures and the way that kind of get going with Finncy. So we have a $149 startup fee. That's essentially waived for all of the elite brokers that are wanting to get started today. It's $85 a month. And then the way that the commission structure works is every broker starts off at a 50-50 rev share. And then on their second deal, they go to 60%. 60% their way, 40% to Finncy. As soon as they close their third deal is paid out on a 70-30, 70% their way, 30% to Finncy. As soon as they close their fourth deal, it's 80-20, 80 their way, 20% to the broker. We cap at an 80-20 split, and that covers all of your processing fees, covers it covers all of your processing fees. So that way you don't have to take care of anything else, and everything is taken out of that 20% commission for all of your remainder deals. So on your fourth deal and every deal thereafter, you're on an 80-20 split. Now, that's for brokers that want to just kind of do their own thing and grow their own team, which is that's a really great commission structure. It gets you direct access to the lenders. We're fully transparent. So this is the thing that I really want to bring home to your group, Matthew, is that when you normally, in a normal co-brokering experience, there is this unsaid level of like, I have to trust you, right? And because there's not really any sort of transparency. And so I'm not saying this happens all the time, but it does happen. And it would be nice to be able to have transparency. Whereas if you're working with other brokers or in a co-brokering experience, a broker may tell you that there was $7,000 in commissions, but there very well could have been $10,000 that was made in commissions. And because we don't have any sort of transparency, us as a co-broker, we have to kind of take that for what it is. And we're normally super grateful for the opportunity that the deal closed, and normally just grateful for that commission anyway. But it allows the other individual to kind of pad things, or it gives them that opportunity. And that unfortunately does happen. Another thing that's not really talked about either is volume overrides and volume incentives by these larger brokers. And these larger brokers, when they close a bunch of transactions through a specific lender, they actually get incentives, right? They'll have a 1 or a 2% incentive increase on all of their deal flow that came in and was funded for that specific month. So that's also something that the co-brokers aren't really, one, they don't know about, and two, they aren't getting a kickback on that as well. So when you join Finncy, we're fully transparent. So if a broker is incentivizing us, well, we're telling you guys that the broker is or that the lender is incentivizing us, and we're telling you what that incentive is, because we want to hit that incentive, just like you want to hit that incentive now that you have an opportunity. Because we're collectively looked at as one brokerage, we're able to actually hit those volume incentives. Whereas if you're not a part of Finncy, you don't have those opportunities. You're too fragmented. And when you are a part of Finncy, let's say 16 deals allowed us to hit a 1 or a 2% increase on all of those 16 deals that closed for that month. Well, it's those 16 deals and the referral partners that are attached to it, or the Finncy brokers that are attached to it, that get that commission payout. And then we pay out on all renewals, right? And so when you join these other business loan brokerages and partner up with them, they don't pay you out on renewals. And if you don't know what renewals are, we can talk about that. But the average business owner is taking a loan, who takes a loan, is taking 2, 3, or 4 of them in a calendar year. And if you don't have a partner that's letting you know about renewals, then you're missing out on 1, 2, or 3, or 4 times the additional opportunities that come with that borrower that you brought to the table. So those are some of the value adds that Finncy, as one collective business loan brokerage, kind of brings to the table by being able to support all of the business loan brokers that want to join it. And we have full transparency. One last thing I'll kind of mention. I don't want to go down this road too much, but it's I'd like to paint this picture, because that's a really sweet package right there. But we also have the ability for you to introduce others into our ecosystem as well. We're all kind of like birds of a feather, right? We all flock together. We're all in the same Facebook groups, right? We're all going to the same conferences. We're all working with the same lenders, and sometimes we're working with the same borrowers. And so we're all frenemies, if you will, is a good way to, a way that I hope we can all look at it. And there's so much opportunity for all of us. We should be able to support each other. And if you want to support other people that are other business loan brokers that you would otherwise never co-broker with, and you would otherwise never make any money from them because they're doing their own thing, right? But here you get an opportunity to say, hey, I've joined Finncy, this really great technology that's supporting business loan brokers, and I'm on an 80-20 revenue share, but they're giving me training, technology, the ability to build a team. They're giving me a transaction assistant so I can actually close and increase my ability to close more deals. And then it's fully transparent. It's like the five T's. I know you're doing your own thing. You should come over here and you should join them. And here's the reasons why. And when you do that, if you want to do that, because I understand a lot of you probably don't, but if you do, and if this is attractive to you, then you can bring people into the Finncy ecosystem. And when you do, you actually make half of our $85. And so that becomes a decent little revenue stream of about $42.50 on every person that signs up. And then you actually make a revenue share out of that 20%. So nothing ever affects the business loan broker and their commission, but it just is money that we're taking out of our 20% and we're giving to that referral partner. So, I didn't come up with this model. I've reverse engineered it from some very, very successful companies. And those companies are like eXp Realty, if anyone's familiar with them, the fastest growing real estate company in the entire country. They're like probably at 90,000 agents and have done so in about the last 5 to 6 years. Prudential, Keller Williams. This is a pretty similar model or pretty popular model amongst sales people driven industries and corporations, some of the biggest. And so when I realized that there isn't anything like this in the industry, no one's supporting the brokers the way that they could and really should be supported. And that's come from 13 years of experience and training many, and probably many of the brokers that are even on here today, and working with them. So it just comes with that experience. And so I'm super excited about it. Obviously I could go on and on, so I'm going to just shut myself up right now.
No worries. No, that's awesome, man. It's definitely a game changer. I love it. We did have a couple of questions here really quick. If I could bring this up just to cover that. And while I'm bringing that up, I kind of like the way that the commission structure works a little bit too, because it's like it's more progressive. And it gives people something to kind of work towards. Obviously, we want to make as much commission as possible, and but it also makes sure that we're getting people who are serious about this. Closing multiple deals over and over and over again, right? So I kind of like the progressive one. I did have a question here about the processing team. When they reach out, do they identify themselves as a member of the Finncy team? Yeah. So do they? I guess the main thing is when they're positioning this and setting this up for the follow up, would they say something like, "My processing team from Finncy is going to reach out to you"? Like, is that the best way to do it?
Yeah, you don't have to drop Finncy at all. We're meant to support you. The only disconnect that's going to be is our processing team's 800 number is going to be a disconnect from your guys's number. Our system even has the ability to push out emails if you give us this capability on your behalf. So if you can create something like processing team at mybusiness.com, then we can set that up in our system and we can send out emails through there and be able to essentially receive them to be able to manage that. We also have the team trained, not to mention Finncy, and to when they call to say, I'm calling on behalf of David Wolf, or with his we're his processing team, right?
Right.
They would be dropping your company name as well.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And be able to support your other brokers as well. Like you're going to have other brokers as well.
Right. So it's truly white labeled to the individual brokers. So
yes.
even when the team calls them, calls the borrowers. So
yeah, absolutely. There's meant to be no disconnect. It's really supposed to be just a massive value add and to reinforce you and your brokerage and your brand.
Yeah, that's awesome. Had one more question about the commissions. Is there a way to get 100% commissions, or is it capped at the 80-20?
So that's a great question. Maybe that person read my Facebook page. So you have until July 4th to get 100% commission. After July 4th, I'm never offering the 100% commission again.
You guys better get on board now, man.
Yeah, so that I've after thinking through this a long time and consulting with some of the brightest people in this industry to get their feedback, it's what allowed me to come up with that 80-20 and to give people more money out of that. So you can come in and sign up by July 4th. You can get up to 100% commission. And here is the way that it looks. If you want me to explain it, send me a Facebook message and I'll actually send you a slide. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is literally taken right from EXP. And this is exactly how it works to get to 100%, which will never be offered. You'll only hear it here and on my Facebook page, which will be deleted after July 4th. Okay. You'll never hear me talk about 100% commission again. It will always be 80-20. And here's how you do it. You start off at 50%, just like everybody. And you go to 60, 70, 80%, and you cap out at 80% until you've contributed $16,000 in commissions. This will go away July 4th. This will never be offered again. So the only thing you have to do is you have to contribute $16,000 in commissions to Finncy through that 50, 60, 70, 80 sliding scale. When you've contributed $16,000 in commissions, you now move to 100% commission. Okay. And again, this goes away July 4th. So let me paint the picture for you. I'll give two quick examples. Let's say the first deal that you bring in and you're on the 100% offer. The first deal that you bring in, I'm going to give you two examples. Let's say it's a $5 million SBA deal. Well, normally on a $5 million SBA deal, there's about there's about $100,000 in commissions that's going to be made there. So you're on the 50-50 into your first deal, but the most you'll ever contribute to Finncy in that year is going to be $16,000. So for this example, you actually hit the home run, and on your very first deal, you're going to hit your max. So it's not going to go 50K to you and 50K to Finncy. You hit your max, and the most you're going to contribute to Finncy ever is going to be $16,000. And therefore, your commission check from Finncy is going to be $84,000, and every deal thereafter from your first deal is now paid out at 100%. Okay, so again, the most you'll ever pay if you join now and take advantage of the 100% offer is the most you'll ever pay in commissions is $16,000, and then every deal thereafter is paid out at 100%. Gotcha. There is a $200, and I'll send you the slide because you got to understand this. There's a $200 processing fee that's associated on every funded file. When you join the 80-20, the processing fee goes away because it's absorbed, and we take care of that through the 20% that we're earning, which is why we kind of moved away from the 100% offer.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. You guys want more information on that, reach out to Jantzen. That's only going to be available for a few more days anyway. So awesome, man. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and start wrapping up. You guys have any other questions, go ahead and type them down in the comments. Jantzen, this has been awesome, man. Really appreciate your time. Not only did we get to see this awesome platform, but there's some awesome training as well. Some really good tidbits. I hope you guys were taking notes. Obviously, we're going to have the replay in the members area. Is there anything else, just final words that you want to share with everybody before we wrap up?
And if anyone has any questions, just feel free to reach out. This is meant to really support all of the business loan brokers, even super brokers. So I would love an opportunity to work with you and to bring you into this ecosystem and to be able to get you to the reasons why you join this industry. And that's to, get additional training, get the support, get additional technology, and then be able to actually have a business that you can grow and scale to the levels that you want to be able to grow it to. So I would be honored to work with you guys, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to present this to your team, Matt, and grateful to work with Elite Broker.
Absolutely, man. Really grateful as well. So, all right, guys, with that said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Highly recommend you guys get on board with this. This is like I said earlier, one of the final missing pieces that I think I really, really wanted to add to Elite Broker. At this point, you've got everything you could ever possibly need to build a successful business in this industry. So make sure you get signed up. Again, if you're an Elite Broker member, it's inside of the on the sidebar. You get the sign up fee waived, and yeah, can't wait to hear about the results. Really excited to see where this goes. So Jantzen, again, thank you so much for your time. Look forward to maybe doing this again in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you guys.
All right, guys, we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.
Bye now.